Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. Great to have you with us. Today, we're digging into something pretty fundamental, I think. This whole idea of the relentless pursuit of perfection. How do the really successful organizations get so good? Not just innovating, but like refining everything they do. We've got a couple of really powerful concepts from the sources you shared that tackle exactly this. First up, we'll unpack this strategic art of learning from the best, benchmarking, they call it. It's more than just copying, though. And then we'll shift gears a bit to the science, almost, of getting near-flawless results. That's Six Sigma quality, real precision stuff.
Right. And what's fascinating, I think, is how they fit together. They're distinct, yeah, but also really complementary. One's about looking outward, isn't it? Who's the best? What can we learn? The other's intensely internal. How perfect can we make our process? It kind of begs the question right away, what does perfection even mean here? How do you measure something like that in a tangible way?
Exactly. That's the core of it, isn't it? And that's what we're going to try and unravel. Because understanding this stuff, it's not just for CEOs. Honestly, seeing how excellence is built, you get insights into, well, systems thinking, product quality, maybe even, optimizing things in your own work or life. It's about those aha moments. So let's kick off with benchmarking. Now, for our listeners, they probably know it's more than just glancing at the competition. It's really a systematic way to decode why someone else is performing so well.
It's about finding that gold standard for a specific task, right? And then really digging deep into the why. What are the mechanics behind their success?
And then figuring out how to adapt those lessons. That's the key part. Adapt, not just copy. Companies talk about a benchmarking exercise. Sounds a bit dry, but it's actually like strategic intelligence work.
It really is. It's definitely not just imitation. It's a structured way for companies to, well, face their own limits sometimes and discover methods they might never have thought of otherwise. Looking beyond the surface to get the fundamental processes, the choices they made, maybe even the culture that supports it. Then you got to figure out how to translate that back to your own situation.
Yeah, makes sense. And the sources point out there isn't just one way to do this. There are different types. First one is internal benchmarking.
Yeah.
So this is looking inside your own company.
Right. Big organizations often start here, comparing different departments, maybe different factories, different teams.
Like one software team checking its efficiency against another team in the same company.
Exactly that kind of thing. Finding the best practices that already exist internally and spreading them around.
Okay. Then there's the one most people probably think of first, competitive benchmarking.
Yeah, looking directly at your rivals. Same industry, same market.
So if you're making cars, you're constantly watching what Ford, Toyota, VW, whatever are doing. Design, manufacturing, service.
Absolutely. It's vital, keeps you on your toes. But it's often focused on the immediate competition.
Right. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The third type, functional benchmarking.
Ah, yes. This is where the creative leaps can happen.
Explain that. It's about looking outside your industry entirely.
Pretty much. You look at how a similar function or process is done brilliantly by someone who's not even a competitor. Think logistics, or maybe customer service, hiring people, functions that lots of different businesses do.
Okay, so you're looking for functional excellence, regardless of the industry.
Precisely. And the sources had that great example, didn't they? The train company.
Oh, right. They needed to clean their trains faster, more efficiently.
Yeah, between journeys. So instead of just looking at other train companies.
They looked at an airline, how they clean planes.
Exactly, because the core function, cleaning a big vehicle super quickly and thoroughly, is basically the same, even though a train and a plane are obviously different.
That's a fantastic example of lateral thinking.
It really is. And connecting that to the bigger picture, it just shows that, the best ideas aren't always in your own backyard. Sometimes you got to look way over the fence. It forces you to ask, who, anywhere, has mastered a process like mine?
Such a good point. And digging into how others succeed, whether competitors or these functional examples, often involves reverse engineering.
Taking something apart to see how it works.
The sources mention this mainly for products, right? Like
Wow.
physically disassembling a competitor's gadget.
Yeah, that's the classic example. But you can apply that thinking much more broadly.
Like to services.
Yeah.
How would you reverse engineer a service?
Well, imagine a really smooth customer service interaction you had. You could try to break it down, couldn't you? Map out every step, the website click, the chatbot, the phone call, the follow-up email. What made it feel seamless? What were the key elements?
Ah, I see. So you're deconstructing the experience to understand its design.
Exactly. And that raises a really interesting question, doesn't it? How much more can we learn by dissecting experiences or workflows, not just physical things? Because understanding the how doesn't just let you imitate. It can spark real innovation. You see how it's built, then you can rebuild it, maybe even better, for your own needs.
It moves beyond just copying to, like, strategic learning.
That's it, strategic insight.
So, for you listening, maybe think about challenges you face. Could functional benchmarking help? Looking somewhere unexpected for ideas? Or could you reverse engineer something successful you've seen? Break it down, understand the magic, apply the principles. It's a different way to problem solve. Okay, so benchmarking helps us find the best way, identify that gold standard,
Yeah.
but then how do you actually do it? And do it consistently, almost perfectly.
Right. And that shift from finding the what's to nailing the how brings us squarely into the realm of Six Sigma.
Six Sigma quality. It sounds intense.
It is. It's about achieving an incredibly high level of precision and execution. The sources define it based on defects per million opportunities, DPMO.
Defects per million. So we're talking very, very few errors.
Extremely few. And the scale of improvement it represents is, well, it's kind of mind-boggling. The sources give some figures, right? Like 1 sigma quality. That's terrible, actually. 690,000 defects per million.
Wow, 690,000. That's nearly 70% defective.
Yeah, pretty bad. And even 2 sigma is still 45,000 defects per million, which is, still quite high if you think about it.
45,000 errors in a million. Yeah, you wouldn't want your bank making that many mistakes on statements.
Definitely not. What's fascinating here is just the sheer jump required to get to the higher levels.
And that brings us to the gold standard itself, Six Sigma quality. This is where it gets really impressive.
The magic number is fewer than 3.4 defects per million.
Fewer than 3 or 4 errors in a million parts or operations.
That's the standard. In manufacturing, for example, it represents just an extreme level of control and consistency.
It's almost difficult to comprehend that level of precision.
It is. And Motorola, they were the company credited with really pioneering this whole methodology back in the day.
Right, Motorola. And connecting this to the bigger picture, what did achieving that do for them or for any company that gets there? It's not just fewer faulty widgets, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. It signals so much more. It means you have incredible process control. Your products are way more reliable. You cut down massively on waste, on rework, on costs associated with errors.
And customer trust must go way up.
Hugely. It builds this reputation for dependability. People know your stuff just works. It becomes part of the brand. Predictability becomes the norm.
And it's not just for factories, right? The sources mentioned applying it elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a key point. It's very adaptable. The example given was invoicing.
Invoicing, so like sending out bills.
Exactly. Achieving Six Sigma in invoicing would mean fewer than, say, 3 or 4 billing errors per million invoices sent.
Okay, that makes it tangible outside of manufacturing. Finance, customer service. Anywhere you have high-volume processes needing accuracy.
Anywhere, really. Wherever errors are costly or impact the customer experience.
So this raises an important question then. What really changes for a company when almost every single step is optimized to that degree?
Well, the overall system becomes incredibly robust, doesn't it? It's predictable, reliable, trustworthy. Think about the confidence that gives everyone, employees, customers, investors, knowing things will just work consistently to this incredibly high standard. That's a massive competitive edge.
Yeah, you can see that. So maybe next time you use something that works perfectly, your phone, your car starts first time, you get an accurate bill. Take a second. Behind that smooth experience, there might just be this intense Six Sigma level focus on quality operating unseen.
Yeah, these highly optimized systems are often working away, delivering performance we kind of just expect now.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground today in this deep dive. 2 really powerful ideas for chasing perfection. First, benchmarking that strategic way to learn from the best, looking outward, sometimes in unexpected places.
Like the train learning from the airline, that functional benchmarking.
Exactly. Finding inspiration. And then Six Sigma, the rigorous, data-driven method for achieving near-perfect execution internally.
Driving down those defects to almost 0, 3.4 per million.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for you listening?
Well, I think the main thing is that Knowing this stuff is one thing, but applying it is where the real value lies. These aren't just, corporate jargon. They're ways of thinking critically about how things work, how systems operate.
Whether that's in a business context or even just how you approach a personal project.
Right. You can use these frameworks to spot opportunities for improvement, maybe spark some innovation, see things through a lens of quality and efficiency. There's always more to learn, always different angles.
Okay, and maybe one final thought to leave everyone with, something to kind of mull over. If Six Sigma is about driving defects down to practically zero, what's the cost of getting that last tiny fraction of improvement?
Yeah. The law of diminishing returns, perhaps. Is perfection always worth the price?
And maybe could the lessons from functional benchmarking, that train and airline thing, offer a different kind of perfection?
Less quantifiable, maybe?
Yeah, less about zero defects, more about smart adaptation, creative evolution, finding clever solutions by looking sideways. Which approach ultimately delivers more value? Something to chew on.
Definitely food for thought.
All right, that's us for this deep dive. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll catch you next time.